I will use an example to illustrate the concept of risk. Suppose there are two assets you can invest in. Let's call them S and R. The table shows the return these assets generate for you in each of four possible states of the economy. Think of these states of the economy as possible scenarios next year. Today, you really do not know which of these four different scenarios will materialize, but you know one of them will. Also, for simplicity, let's consider these scenarios as equally likely. Let's first compute the expected return for S and R. Since the scenarios are equally likely, I just compute the simple average over the four scenarios and obtain the expected return of 6.75% for both assets. Now, let's compute the standard deviation of these assets' returns. Recall that the standard deviation is a measure of dispersion. Roughly speaking, the higher the standard deviation, the further apart the possible outcomes are. In finance, the standard deviation of an asset returns is called volatility. By the way, it is not important for this course that you know the formula for standard deviation. I just want you to understand what it means. But if you want to replicate the results from my tables in Excel, use the standard deviation.p function for the standard deviation. When I compute the standard deviation or volatility for this asset, I find that the volatility of S is 4.26% and that of R is 5.67%. In sum, these calculations are telling you the following. Both assets, on average, pay you the same return. However, the outcomes of assets R are more dispersed. By the way, that is why I call these assets S and R. S for safe and R for risky. Now, if you need to choose one asset to invest all, and I emphasize all, of your wealth, which of these will you choose? The answer is obviously S, as it has the less dispersed outcome.